2x2 results.
Nice. Oh, yeah, confirmed.
Gotcha. Alright.
2x2 results.
Alright.
They're all behind there, and they've moved some of the dividers. So they'll hear the tune.
Are these mics on?
Probably, some.
Okay.
As the times they would be done for.
Okay, I found out stuff about Andre J. So.
Okay. Okay.
So, just a quick announcement.
It's the literal order of
We are
to first of the second semi-final.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Antoine came 20th.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Audio is back. Yes.
Antoine will be sitting on the right.
Yeah.
So we are at the moment. We just got the results for 2x2. So Kevin Gerhardt with the 186 got third place. Martin Egdahl with the 165 got second, and only 0.03 of a second faster, Anthony Padarakis with the 162, the European champion. It ended up with Timon getting a 2.3 and a 2.4 on his last two solves, which bumped him just above Kevin. And then Rasmus's last solve was a 4.0, meaning that he had a counting 3.79.
He needed a 132 to win.
Which is unfortunate. He did need a 132 to win, but that's definitely not an easy solve, and very few people did better than Antoni on that one. The only one actually being Matthias Uvestin, who was already out with a counting 3.58.
The mic is on, by the way. Don't worry, I have some dirt on him.
Hello, does it work?
So yes, it is Dana Yu here. So we are just doing the last preparations right now, and at the streaming desk we have Dana Yee, myself, James Malloy, Eric Ackersdyke, and Keaton Ellis, and we will be doing all of your commentary for the finals.
Yeah, so the idea for this setup is that we've got two teams of two that are going to be covering one of the two solvers during the finals. James and Dana are going to be taking all of the odds, so we've got starting from 19 Entree all the way up to number 1 Alexander. And Eric and I are going to be taking the evens, so 20th place from Antoine all the way up to Philipp Weyer in second place. Raise the mic volume. Yeah, Eric Ackersdyke, 7.08 himself.
That's right.
Yeah,
How'd you do
indeed.
with this competition, Eric?
Not that great. I made 5 of 5 finals, which was nice.
Wow,
I didn't expect
nice.
that.
Chat, how's the mic volume now? Is it better for everyone?
How'd you do in 3x3?
Yeah, not that good. I had 2+2s in the semi-finals. That was unfortunate.
That's
I would not have made finals anyway. I mean, I'm not good enough.
That's painful.
So you didn't make finals yourself either?
Yeah, unfortunately, I ended up with, I started with the 7.8, 8.8, and 7.5, and things felt good. But I did forget to stop the timer on one of those solves, so I ended up with a 13 instead of a mid-8.
Ouch.
And then to round things off, I ended up getting a 9.7. So I've had better averages, but sometimes that just happens. I believe I was around the 40 mark. Yeah, 38. So you can see exactly.
All right. Yeah, unfortunate. It would be cool if you would have made finals as well.
Yeah, but it seems like a lot of that happened to people with the worst solves being the last two. Linus Lauren, the new Finnish national record holder who got 777 in the previous round, had the exact same thing happen to him. And at these large competitions, especially when it's hot and you're a little jet lagged, it can get to you. It can definitely get to you.
Just a little.
All right, so we've got a question asking, could you make it full screen when they're solving? Yeah, so if we just explain a bit how it's going to work. So as you can see on screen right now, we've got the left timer and the right timer. So the right timer is going to be all of the even numbered qualifiers, and the left side is going to be the odd numbered qualifiers. You can see below who the person is, where they qualified, and all of the times that they have so far. And you'll see at the bottom it says min average and max average. After 4 solves, it automatically calculates what the best they can get is and what the worst they can get is. So you can sort of see how they can potentially do. And yes, when the competitor starts inspecting, that timer will be shown full screen so you can see it in all its glory.
James, if someone gets a +2, can you do the and that's a bad miss?
When Harry's announced reviews of Mercedes mentioned it's his birthday, so there's a couple of people.
Oh no,
He has said to me that every time they get a +2, just draw 2 cards.
In that case,
Yeah, no, those.
And then do you have to skip?
Get the stream ratio first and top right.
stream ratio.
No, get the stream amount raise.
and he just overperforms every event.
Just to get this.
Just give it some flavour, some spice.
I mean,
That flag double, like a double +2. You touched the cube and you didn't solve.
So James, do you know if there will be any music when the competitors come on stage?
That is a good question, Eric. I'm not sure. Let's find out.
All right, stay tuned.
We'll
Yeah.
see when Anton goes up.
Yes. It's likely that there won't be music going up, just because, unfortunately, we couldn't use the main hall speaker system. It was very, very bad quality, and so the speaker system we have set up is a bit of a DIY project. So it is unlikely we'll have walk-up music, but I don't think it'll be any less
I
epic.
think it should have been enough people
All right.
for you to get it, but you're annoyed at having to do all the work.
So there was a comment in the chat that says that they're going to come back for the top 10, and I highly recommend against doing that. I would recommend staying for the entire thing, simply because of the quality of all the solvers here, and the fact that because we have no favorite, there is a really good shot that people are going to be able to do well. 12th seed is Cornelius Diekman, and I would hate to miss his solves for the
Yep,
world.
and we've got 14 and 15, Dario Roa and Kieran Bean. They can easily get sub-7 averages. Like,
Never know how to reverse it.
who can win this? It can be anyone.
Right.
It's it's basically just
Antoine,
something like this.
ranked number 20, is the only sort of odd cross solver here in the bunch. Everyone here in this final is doing CFOP. Number 35 was Alex Lau, and so as the fastest Rue user, everyone ahead of him is using the same method. And so,
Except Jules Desjardins, he does cross on left.
okay.
Cross on
But-
left usually does very well at European Championships, James.
Yep, Sergei Ryabko won 2 years running in 2012 and 2014.
However, cross and left made it as high as 24th in this round, and so pretty standard CFOP, except for maybe if you count VLS as a different thing. You've got Mats there.
Somebody's
in
just
third
asked
place.
when it'll start. They are literally just doing the last tiny bits of preparation at the back at the moment to just shield off all of the competitors from seeing any times. So we're hopefully going to be starting very, very soon. So, Keaton, who is your favorite to win?
Oh man, like it's really hard to make these predictions because there are quite a few people who just have a really good shot at the top. But in terms of consistency throughout the rounds, James and I were talking about this earlier, and in terms of his recent ER and just ability to perform in competition, I'm gonna have to say with my prediction that Philipp Weyer is gonna be taking it. I think he's most likely to be able to do it, and I think I see him taking the European champion title 2 years in a row, or 2 comps in a row.
Yep, that's a pretty good prediction. And what do you think, Eric?
To make it even a little bit more interesting, I would prefer to say another name, but I would agree. Yeah, Philipp is really consistent. He's been doing so well for the past couple of competitions, and he's also very confident. You know, I talked to him a lot the last few days, and he's really confident that he can win.
Great. And Dana, who's your pick to win? I know.
There's so many good people in this round. I really don't know. It could go anyway because these people have been moving around through the past few rounds.
Yep, you got to pick one.
I just want to say Mats because he's fairly consistent in finals.
Yep. Okay, yeah, and so I want to go for maybe not so much an underdog, but a little bit of an underdog. Somebody who's come very close so many times before, but I think Mats Valk is going to pick up the win this time.
Oh, I'm definitely rooting for him, of course. You know, the Netherlands has a very bad history in the big tournaments. There are so many people that have come second. So we have in '82, Guus became second at the World Championships. Then Ike became second a few times, and Mats also became second on very big competitions. So it's really about time that the Netherlands would take home a big prize now.
Yeah, and do you guys have a dark horse, Dana? Do you think there's anyone who could come and upset the tournament?
I think Cornelius could pull it off
Yeah.
because he did get that 4 in the first round.
Yeah, he's definitely got the talent. It's
Yes,
just
he
if he
does.
can keep it together.
Yeah.
And Eric, what do you think?
I'll go with Martin. He did a really good average in the previous round. In the second round, he pulled off sub 7. So yeah, he can certainly do it. How about you, Keaton?
So for my pick, I really think that in terms of the dark horse, I'd like to see someone who may not have 3x3 as their main event, but is very good at it, and with the pressure of the competition maybe not being on their shoulders as much because it's not their main event. I think that Kieran has a really good shot at it, just because he's already gotten his titles for 5x5 and 6x6, which were his main things. I talked to him earlier in the competition, and he said that 6 was his main thing that he'd been practicing, and that winning the 6x6 European Championship was his main goal. And so now that he's gotten that off his chest, 3x3 finals is really just an added benefit. And so I think if anyone would be able to beat the pressure and solve well, it would be Kieran.
Yep, and he's performed really well in finals before in UK Championship. So yeah, definitely one to look out for. I can see in chat we've got some picks. We've got Mats to win, Alexandre, Philippe, Mats.
Yeah, and Kian right there, Kian Mansour is called Philippe first, Kevin second, and Alexander third. And so he's got all 3 of his ducks lined up in a row, and I think we might be able to see some of that. In terms of the placement of people in the semifinals, how do you think that someone who may feel like he should be at the top, such as Cornelius, feels being in 12 seed? Do you think that it might help him that he can go earlier, or do you think it's going to hurt him in the sense that he feels a little bit more pressure to perform well?
Oh, I think it's definitely a help to perform earlier to solve earlier in the round. When you're one of the last up, like if you're Alexandre or Philippe in the last set, everyone's watching you, everyone's expecting you to do well.
And also, you have to sit through everybody and listen to all the cheering.
And we want to start right now.
Well,
So be ready to announce the...
I would think Cornelius does feel a lot of pressure because he missed out on a few big finals already. We know that he can do very well, but he just not very good normally in the high pressure round. So I'm really curious what he will do.
I mean, his previous NR, the 558 that he had, was in the finals of the German Open, which was a head-to-head style. So
True.
he has had some shaky performances at large competitions recently. Missing out on Worlds Finals is always just a really painful thing because it's hard to stay on top of your game for the next 2 years. But I think he's got a good shot here.
Well, he's got that 483 from the first round in his pocket, so that must give him some confidence.
Right, or at least some relief that he's already performed very well for this competition, that he doesn't have to, try and prove himself, either to himself or to anyone out there.
Yeah. So we've got 3. And we still missing that.
So do we expect the 483 to be beaten in the finals?
It's going to be hard to say. I will say, however, that there is a good scramble. We're going to see quite a good number of results.
Oh, and there's
very similar solutions.
And Connie, that's
Also, with 20 people, the chances of a skip is quite high.
Right, but at the same time, like if a lot of these people are doing the same solutions, there might be entire competitors who literally do the exact same move as someone else, and it's only mattering as to who turns faster in those situations.
So actually 20 competitors with 5 attempts, that's 100 souls. So statistics say that we should see at least 1 PLL skip.
Yeah.
And maybe a bit more.
Yeah, there's 200 souls, so there should be 3.
200
Two-
solves.
200
What's 20
solves,
times
James?
5, James?
This is why I didn't do maths past the age of 16.
Well, the math major in me is scolding James and failing him for that assignment of multiplication. But
It's okay, we'll have 1.4 PLL skips then.
all right. Someone in chat says, but you're an accountant.
That is true, I use a calculator every day.
So the hard part is setting up the formulas. He knows how to do the Excel math, not
James,
the,
James, we've got commentary
pen and
requests.
paper stuff.
Why is this one a different color?
You've got to make it spicy, James.
Felix wants it spicier.
Yeah.
How spicy can you make it?
All right, so we have gotten a specific request, very special request from a cuber that, you know, he's from down under. Not all of you may have heard of him, but his name is Felix Zemdegs. We have a request to make it, quote, spicier.
And
end
flavorful.
quote, and flavorful. And so, to try to spice up this commentary, we've got a little bit of information about each of these competitors to sort of give you an understanding of who they are, what they're like. And we're up in the finals. We're introducing the organizers right now. They're going to be the judges for this event. We've got Luis Inanez on the left, former board member, and then on the right we've got Alberto Perez de Radafio,
Nice.
current board member.
Right, if you haven't already, share the stream with your friends, put it on your Facebook, share it on Twitter. We want as many people watching this final as possible. Make sure all the cubers you know are watching this stream. It's going to be really exciting. And with
Share it on the VCA, like Facebook. Oh, right, yeah, I do that. So it's very...
with so many competitors in this final, we could have a couple of huge upsets. So stick around for the whole thing, and we'll see how it goes.
It's like an accessory to the crime. Canada voted for Trump.
Go anyway. Antoine.
Welcome to the WCA European Championship 2018 3x3 final. Our first competitor, qualifying in 20th place, all the way from Canada, Antoine Cantine.
Where my intro music at?
There he is.
I'll do it for the next set.
Antoine is one of two
Qualifying
competitors
in
who
19th
are
place from
the-
Russia, Andre Che.
So Antoine is the only Canadian here, so unfortunately there'll be no one cheering for him at this competition, except our local North American boys.
Well, everybody likes Canada, don't they?
Right, Canada is one of the most well-liked countries in this world. We've got him full screen right now, so
How much is the lag? Should I just
hopefully
watch
you'll
it?
have a good view of the song.
about a second.
Cameras are fixed,
Then I'll
and
try
here
and
he
watch.
is off onto this. Antoine is orange cross only, so you'll see him do it, but he will not do any other cross colors, not even red. Cute. 6-move Olo into a G firm.
Oh.
9.1 to start things off.
And here we've got Andre Che. In Russian, Cheya means champion, so all the Russians are hoping that Andre Che will be their champion this year.
White cross.
There's a bit of
Ooh,
a
little
pause.
Hesitant F12.
Yeah, quite a few rotations as well here.
Ooh. Oh,
Very good last layer. Unfortunately, Solve was lost a bit earlier, so that's a 9.33.
2 9s to start with. Look like they're a little bit, well, maybe a bit nervous. Let's see how we continue. Antoine now for his second solve.
Antoine, in a second, you can see 2 cross pieces already made for him on the bottom of the cube. Things are off. His first pair transition is fantastic, and he's on Olal at 4, PL at 5, U-perm, and he messed it up. Ending up with an H-perm, getting a 10.55.
Shaking his head, yeah.
Right. I mean, with the counting 9 already, that just really puts him out of the picture.
All right, we're back on Andre now. Yes. And another fun fact about Andre. So in a final in one of the Russian Championship, he got disqualified for jumping over a barrier right in the middle of the final. So
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. Only found that out recently.
All right, let's see how he does on this one. Good start. A little locky on F2L. Ooh.
And a U-perm for PLL, and that's a sub 8. So once again, a very nice last layer.
Spiffing. Absolutely spiffing.
Just from these two solves, it seemed like his last layer is his strongest.
Going on to Antoine's third solve, a lot of the pressure has to be off him right now. Like, what would you be feeling in this type of situation with a 9 and a 10 already?
Yeah, you would probably be a little aggravated, frustrated, or you could turn it into positive thinking and be like, all right, 3 chances to do a good single.
Oh!
There we go.
He does exactly that, a 6.68 for Antoine. Fantastic PLL. We got a J-perm on that one.
Back to Andre.
He looks very cool and relaxed right now. He's got his sunglasses on his polo. He seems very focused. He seems very confident with that inspection there. Oh, a bit of a lock up on cross.
Lucky. Nice last layer though.
Very good last layer stuff. So we can definitely tell last layer is his strongest point, but if he can fix those pauses in F12, that'd be great.
So in this situation, Antoine, with that 6, with that 9, he really can pull it back. Assuming he gets.
I think watching on the screen is the best.
I mean, another 6 in his back,
Antoine does not look like he's got the best of scrim. He's on PLL at 5.5. 7.7. That's not a bad time. You can definitely bring this back with another 7.
Got to stay hydrated. Good for performance.
Let's see how he does on this. 4th solve.
So we can definitely see he's a white cross only solver.
Ooh, smooth F12. This could be a really good solve.
Still a decent time, 8.31, but rolls reverse there. Good F2L, bit of a lucky last layer.
Going back to Antoine, you can see that his best possible average is 776, and so he still has a chance to get something good. I mean, assuming he gets the 6 counting. One thing about Antoine as well is that he's been in Europe for just about 2 weeks now, and so he does not have jet lag at this point. So
still, I mean, it were some quite long days, so the fatigue is maybe still playing a role.
Right, and you can see that like pause right now. Messed up cross a little bit. Finishing off with a 9.29. Antoine Contant.
Andre still looking calm and collected.
Yep, it looks like he's already locked in a high 8 average, but he can definitely make that a low 8 average if he gets a good time on this last solve.
Smooth F2L. A little locky last layer again. That's definitely a low 8 average.
Yep, so it looks like it's going to be an 8.25 average. Yep, there it is. So as we can see, our first 2 set of results are in, and pretty good start from our finalists.
Yeah, a good bar to set at the very start, 825 and 863. They're not going to win this championship, but they are going to be able to get some decent results in. We're going to have James announce the next 2 seeds.
So it's 8.3 and 8.29.
Close. Oh, they were shared tie. It's a 3-way tie, actually.
Yeah, Zemeswab having low 8s very early on just means that this final
And now, qualifying in 18th place with an 8.30 average from Poland, Maciej Czapiewski. and qualifying with an 8.29 average from Germany, Henry Gerber.
Henry's good at everything. Is he? He's like a all around. I feel like I've seen him in a lot of stuff today.
Mache on his first solve with an 8.55. Fun fact about Mache is that, you know, despite how young he looks, he is older than Kevin Gerhardt, which we'll see later in the show.
With a full beard.
And now we have Henry Gerber, a really solid all-rounder. He actually podiumed in feet, coming second at this European Championship.
Solid start.
Pretty solid last lap, bit of a lock-up on PLL.
Very similar times for both competitors coming into this. Mache with his eyes on 2x2, and Skube, unfortunately Mache did not do very well in 2x2 finals with 245. And this is his only other final apart from 4x4 where he got 13, so he's really hoping to get something good here.
There he is.
It's a little slower returner than other competitors here.
Yeah, locks up a few times. Only a 9.
And
That
yeah,
doesn't
so
mean his 8.5 is counting for him. Sorry, guys.
it's okay, Keaton. So Henry, one of his other main events is Megaminx. He used to hold the national record before Kevin Gerhardt decided to practice and beat him very handily. And Henry just missed out on podium, coming 4th this time around as well.
Ooh, very smooth. Quite a few pauses though.
Yeah, quite a lot of moves as well in this, but he's messed up
And
a
he
G-perm.
just-
We all know that feeling when a G-perm goes wrong, and it's stuck.
The one good thing about that 21-second solve is that, you know, because of the incredible cheering, nobody in the back knows what the hell
They
Henry
are
Gerber
so
just
confused
got.
right now.
True.
Mache with not a good transition between first cross and first pair, but very smooth last layer. I believe he did 2 PLOs there for that 889 and an 8 turn.
Or maybe it was a cross mistake, seeing maybe it was an M2 U2 M2.
Potentially.
8.84.
Henry looks very nervous. He's quite stoic. I don't know how he performs in finals. I've never really seen him. He gets overshadowed by the other Germans, like the Byers and Connie and Kevin. So let's hope he can perform better on this solve. Hasn't lost the average just yet.
A couple pauses, but seems pretty smooth. Oh,
and he forgot to do PLL.
Oh no! Accounting 21.
That is not what he wants in the. You can put DNF in and it works. DNF, yeah, it works.
Painful.
As long as you use my
Very
example,
painful.
If you put DNF, it'll work.
Oh my god.
So, just as a note, Mache in the last round got an 830 average, which is very good for him. In his previous competitions, you know, his best average was 813, so he doesn't average, you know, at least officially, much faster than that. Good transitions. Bill at 6, here's a 7.5. Solid result by Mache.
Yeah. That's a good one for him.
So I think all the nerves have gone from Henry right now.
Yeah.
He has no nerves. The average is long gone. No chance of even coming 19th now, I think. Well, somebody else could DNF and get a 20.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's possible.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. But
He could get 2 4s, and I don't.
I
think
reckon
that would...
I reckon he's gonna try and TPS
Yeah.
and get a 5, make up for his past mistakes.
Just go for
It
single
reminds me
now.
of Von der Vinter from Nats 2015 with that 558 and the 17 immediately after.
Just turn fast. Don't stop. Oh. All right.
All right, not bad. Decent recovery.
So final solve, best possible average
So his best
833.
is a 12.59.
Slot him in the 3rd place.
I don't know what to say about
833.
that.
That would
Or
probably be
second
enough
place.
for the sub-top, right?
Or that would put him in the 2nd place right now, after Andre, but ahead of Antoine and Henry. Good transition.
Yeah, some pauses there. That's his 3rd A-perm.
But fairly consistent. It doesn't seem to be terribly surprising for him.
One more solve, just
Yeah. Does it? I don't think he looks like he wants to be up there right
no.
now. But yeah. Wait, so his best is a low 12 average. That means
It's hot and above 12.5.
yeah. So I could be that. I should be
Yeah.
up there in the final right now. Just for clarity, I came about 140th in the last round.
Oh no. So it is a 12.59 average. $79.
Yeah.
It is a real shame to see such a good solver just end with a 21 counting. But
Something to remember, but not the greatest
Right.
thing to be remembered for.
right, I mean, in the case of Von Revenger, like I said before, at least he had that 5 in that round, which was 4th in the world at the time. So, fairly solid results.
And now from Sweden, qualifying in 16th place, also with an 8.29 average, Jakob Gunnarsson. And qualifying in 15th place from Ireland, also with an 8.25 average, Kieran Ben.
We've got the English and Irish crowd right behind us. So, if you hear some cheering, it's because of that. A little bit of information about Jakob Gunnarsson before he does his first solve. He apparently started solving in 2015 and is a fantastic all-rounder. He does have the best sum of ranks in Sweden. And we're fairly certain he does white and yellow crosses, but we're not 100% sure. He does do yellow on this one with a very good first
Yeah, the
transition.
start was really good.
And the back end of the solve, not so much. Ending with an 837.
And now we're on to Kieran. Not much to say about him really. He's a dominant force in Ireland, owns pretty much all of the national records.
Very
Holds-
good at big cubes.
Yeah, extremely good. In fact, won 5x5 and 6x6 here at this very European Championship and does only green cross.
I did not know that. Ooh, nice start. Solid start, solid start.
Yep, and he has a very interesting turning style. Looks pretty ugly, but gets good times, so...
Again, going back to Jakob, just like Maciej, like we were talking about earlier, Jakob got a very good average from him. His PB average is 809 overall, which is NR for Sweden. And with the 829 that he got in the final, in the semifinals, very good result from him. His best in the competition. Decent start.
Yeah, shaking, locking, but still 824. Probably not unhappy about that one still.
Kieran's in the mood. He's nodding his head.
Giving a little wink to somebody over
Yeah. Smiling.
there. Yeah, I think he thrives. He's nervous, but he loves these finals, really.
Fairly quick inspection. We'll see. Ooh. Oh, a little locky. Solid finish.
Yep, another great time from him. Showing off his talent so far.
like I was saying earlier, Kieran's a great dark horse for this competition and has a good shot at the podium.
So, third solve for Jakob. Yeah.
Henry Gerber was able to get a 743 on this, so with similar crosses.
Yeah, you can see that he's really nervous. You know, these tiny shakes, tiny lockups.
Right. I mean, the closest he's probably gotten to this has been one of those Swedish competitions with head-to-heads, and so, you know, with a small crowd like that, it's very different on this type of stage.
Somebody's just asked who's commentating. So for the yellow stage we have Keaton Ellis and Eric Ackersdyke commentating, and on the left stage we have Danny and myself, James Malloy. Just waiting for Kieran's last solve to come
He's
up.
definitely in the mood. He's like shaking his head. This is third solve.
Yep,
Oh.
yeah, indeed. He doesn't even listen to music or anything.
He's got
just,
all.
yeah, very
He's ready.
confident,
Yes.
ready to go. Doesn't like this inspection. And that's the problem with doing only one cross color. It doesn't give you many options at all.
I think he's trying to turn fast to compensate, but it's just not working.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Bad third solve from him, but he knows the...
He couldn't save this average.
Yeah, definitely. He knows the scramble was bad, so he'll just move on.
Fourth scramble for Jakob. We'll see what he can do.
We checked his results, and this is his first major final, and so like not being accustomed to sort of the pressure and the waiting between all the solves can really get to someone, and it's very noticeable here.
Oh, yeah. 10:05.
Exactly, it's worse.
Why isn't every solve in this round having a 05?
So Kieran will have that 9-second solve in the past now. Looking forward to this one.
Ooh, off to a good start. Well, around 6. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, he had a few pauses at the end there. Normally his OLL and PLL transitions are really excellent, but not so much on that one.
So you can see that Jakob's got min 855, but max 916. So you know, I think no matter what happens, he's going to come out of this with a decent average and a decent feeling about how he did it this month.
Yeah, no matter what happens, he'll probably use this competition as, learning basis for upcoming competitions.
Right. And, you know, he's been getting fast pretty quickly. He started in 2015, and so being in a major final just a couple of years later is really something incredible.
All right. Seems like the pressure really got a little bit to him, but not as bad as to Henry, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what, this average is going to be fairly decent.
Yep. Worst case scenario, we're going to have like a mid-8 average, so that'll put himself in decent contention so far. But as we know, there are loads of really good cubers coming up.
Yeah.
So he'll definitely look to get his best solve here.
Little pause in F2L.
Bit of a lock up there at the end, but overall, really good time. Gets a solid average, very low 8.
Kieran finishing off with an 806 average there.
And up next, qualifying in 14th place with an 8.20 average from Spain, Dario Sanchez.
Clearly the home favorite in this one. He's the highest rated Spaniard and the only in the final, which means that he's going to have the home crowd to his advantage. He's used that earlier in 4x4.
And qualifying in 13th place with an 8.13 average from France, Pablo Contreras.
Country right next door. He's going to be also having a very nice home crowd.
And especially the French, they're always very, patriotic, always cheering very loudly for their own countrymen.
Absolutely. They're going to be cheering for Carlier as well. And, after the performance that some Frenchmen have had recently, I don't know if he podiumed for 4x4, but still had some decent results.
Good start, good start.
Yeah,
706.
706. That's a good start for the rest of his average. Not too fast to make him nervous, but fast enough to be in the race.
And now we've got Pablo Contreras. He is I've never seen him perform in a final before.
He looks very young.
Yep, and he looks extremely nervous. Trying to get into the music, trying to just get focused on the solve. Let's see how he can do.
A little lucky. I think the nerves are getting to him.
Yeah, you can see he was turning very slowly there and just gets in with that subturn.
So Dario up with the best start so far.
He got national record average in the second round with the 738. They were some nice scrambles, but it is a strong performance by him.
Especially with Dario. I mean, he's an outgoing type of guy, so I think he's one of those that can put the pressure and the cheering to his advantage, really.
Although he is shaking.
Although he is shaking.
Very crazy right now. 8:28 is still a fine time, though.
Yeah. Even if that's counting as
Pablo
not a
looking
disaster.
very stoic.
Yep, he is. He actually made the second place finish in the French Championship just earlier this year, and got his PB average in that final. And I know they do 2 at a time finals, so he's experienced this before, but he's made this final. He's got some PBs here to make this finals, so yeah, he'll be very nervous. And let's see if he can catch
Keep it
up.
together.
Yeah.
Doesn't look happy. Quite a few pauses.
Yeah, he's shaking his head there. I think the nerves are probably getting to him. But he's looking into the crowd and getting some familiar faces in, so just trying to bring it back to earth.
So an interesting thing about Dario is that he's stated publicly on Instagram that he says this is going to be his last major competition. And 2018 is the last year of competing.
Oh! That should have been a low 7.
Quite
That's
lucky.
a painful solve to watch.
Was that a U-perm?
Yeah, that was a U-perm. That was the counterclockwise one too. That's the nicest house in the book.
Pablo just getting into the music here. Really going to try and improve. I wonder if he can get a descending average. Keep getting faster and faster.
Yeah. Quite probable.
Just a reminder to anyone, if you've got friends who like cubing or you know anyone who might want to watch or be watching now, just send them this link, get them in the stream and follow, because we'll definitely be having more of these types of things in the future.
Very slow start.
Yeah, it looks like he...
cross at 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah. He seems to have sort of given up the ghost of it. The turning is smooth once he gets into the solve, but he's taking a while to get to that point.
So Dario for his 4th solve, if he can make that 7 counting somehow, then he's back in the game. But he really needs to pull off something good here to be able to mix up in the top.
At the very least, be able to get a counting 7 to sort of boost his rankings. Not bad. Oh, and he did make it count.
Oh, is that a penalty? No, that's a penalty.
Oh.
You can't even tell it's a plus.
That is an 8.
Yeah.
8.94 for Dario.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is painful. That might cost him, if not a podium, a really nice spot.
I think that might have been a PLL skip. I couldn't see any transition between doing OLL to PLL. But I know he does have a good transition, so he might have just gone straight into it.
I think if he has a nice scramble, he could pull off a really nice single. His turning is really smooth when he gets into it.
Yeah, and smooth turning for a finals is definitely like, really useful. The nerves get to you a bit less, and your look ahead really flows. His PB single at the moment is 6.85, so definitely beatable.
Okay.
Much better, sub 8.
stone cold getting that 7. Hopefully Dario can keep his nerves together as well. It's got to be painful just having that single and missing it. With that lefty, G-Perm, stop
and
the timer,
another
and
penalty.
Another +2. Lockups for 2 solves, +2s for 2 more. That's a heartbreaking way to end the round for Dario, but Dario ending things off with an 849 average.
That's my PB. No +2s there, by the way.
Now we're moving on to Pablo's last solve, so let's see if he can beat that 7 and maybe get it counting.
A little locky throughout the whole solve. Not quite.
Much better start, but still an 8, so 9.34 average. Not going to win with that, but good performance at the end nonetheless. And now qualify.
Sound is back. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. We've got a couple of solves that have been done. Connie got a 1016 plus 816 plus 2 equals 10, and Mihao starts with a 761. A little bit of an introduction about Connie. He got a 4.83 single in the first round, which is the fastest solve of the competition, as well as national record for Germany.
Jacket's off.
We think that his pressure is, he does okay under pressure. He has mixed results, and that 1016 really shows that mix. He's locking right now too, but he got a PLL skip, 769.
PLL skip saves the day.
Yep.
Yeah, we all love that moment when PLL skip is rescues a bit of the average, the solve. It's always nice. Now, Michal Żywuski obviously got well known through Skew, took a few world records there, and I think he took the crown in here today for European champion. But he's also, as you can see by him being in the final, really, really good at 3x3. And he tends to perform pretty well under pressure, so we'll see how he does with the rest of the average.
Good start. Solid.
Yeah, another 7 from him. He seems to do white cross only, turns really fast, few pauses, but...
I swear to God, he cut his hair since the start of this competition. Like, I'm certain that it was longer before.
He did a Ron then.
Connie solves mostly on white, and so that's pretty much what you're going to be seeing, unless white is really
I love
bad.
that turning style.
Yeah, his turning style has been described as fluid. And for Felix, we also would call it flavorful and spicy on that 858 that he got.
And yeah, Connie took off his jacket, but Michal hasn't taken it off just yet. It's just warming up, guys.
It's getting hot here.
Yeah. Just wait for the sixes to start coming out. And it'll start heating up for sure. So here's the second pole in this final, and both of them so far have been using GTS 3s as well.
Yeah, just a note about both the polls so far. They're both sponsored by MoU, and so they were able to get GTS 3s a little earlier and be able to set them up and break them in.
Not a good solve.
No, definitely not happy with that one. Loads of lockups, then the drop at the end.
So, it's Connie. Come on, Connie.
He's got a good
Yeah,
solve so
that
far.
looks good. That looks good. That looks good.
717. Not bad. No choking right now for Connie. That 7.6 earlier is counting.
Yep, so Michal only has that one bad solve so far, so hopefully he can just keep that on the back burner. He was in the World's 2017 final last year, so he's definitely had this big final experience before. Fortunately, he didn't perform that well there, though.
He's rolled his sleeves up, he's getting ready.
Very
quick,
quick,
but saved that,
yeah. Very impressive last lap.
Pressure's on him right now. But right now, over at Connie, his best average that he can get is a 7.8. 7.81 to be precise.
And his worst average is 881.
So he's got a big wide range, and he can definitely make the best of it. But that is not the best start.
Judging from the inspection phase, he was not very happy with the scramble either.
He's been locking up. PLL at 7.9, 9.1.
Yeah, Connie won't be happy with that, but yeah, he needs to somehow learn to control his nerves during finals.
So Connie's last solve gives him an 8.46 average, putting him square in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, unfortunately, he continues his streak of not doing that well in the finals.
Something happened to the other camera.
So it looks like we've lost one of the cameras, so we're just going to be pivoting back and forth. No swish animations for the time being.
A little lucky. But save that with the last layer.
Yeah, he's very happy with that average. It's going to be mid-7. Do we know what the average is, Keaton? Average? So that's a 755 average from Michał Żywuski there. So yeah, he's going to be very, very happy with that. And that definitely puts him right in the mix for contending for the podium.
Right, and right now that's the first sub-8 average of the final so far. So after 10 competitors, just a single sub-8.
Will that be enough for podium, or maybe even more?
And next, qualifying in 10th position with a 7.99 average from Germany, Sebastian Weyer.
Sebastian is also one of the lowest rated seeds to have a good shot at winning it. He did have two counting 8s in the semifinal, but he's got the ability to go higher.
Qualifying in 9th position with a 7.91 average, also from Germany, Kevin Gerhardt.
All right, 2 Germans coming up. I know them both very well. I was actually in Sebastian's apartment. Sebastian already won 4x4, so maybe that gives him quite some confidence here. I would say Sebastian is quite as good as Philipp, but I think in the finals, Philipp tends to do better than Philipp. Philipp tends to do better than Sebastian. Let's see what he can do. He only solves on white. Here he goes. That TPS.
He turns incredibly fast, but the inefficiencies do give him an 807. There's just lots of turns that he's doing.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin also has quite a similar turning style to Sebastian. He's quite aggressive, turns really fast. We know he's performed well in finals before. He got his PB average of 6.9 something in the German Nationals final last year, so he definitely has a potential to do really well now.
Very concentrated when he's solving. Ooh.
It's a really good start. That's the best time we've had on the first solve so far, 6.72. And is that the first sub-7 of the finals? Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, no,
It's insane to think that there's been only one sub-7. The only other one was Dario's +2. So really, there's not been a true one.
So Basti up for his second. See what he can do. It's normal that you call German people who's called Sebastian. You call him Basti. 640, wow. Yeah.
Talking about sub-7.
There we go.
Yep, and just as we start mentioning it, they start flooding in. Kevin definitely looks very, very nervous here, but he has experienced this before. Again, he was in the Worlds final last year, so he definitely knows what it's like to solve under this sort of pressure.
Seems a little shaky. Let's see if he can control those nerves.
Yeah, he winced a bit at the inspection he made.
His turning is very fast. A little locky.
8.36, he's not super happy with that, but not terrible. We know the current leading average is 7.55, so definitely beat it.
So they essentially just swapped the times. One of them got an 8 and the other got a 6, and then they switch. Third solve here for Sebastian. Just as a note, he does not currently own house record, and so if you ever feel bad about not having a state record, well, just think about Sebastian.
Well, actually, they live quite a few hundred kilometers apart nowadays.
Okay.
No, shaking his head, still not happy with that, although a 758 is something I would be happy with.
Right. It is still not below the current average of Michał Żywuski, but it is a good stepping stone.
That's a good standard to compare something to, yeah.
Taking a big breath before he solves. He definitely likes to take a few seconds to compose himself. I know Sebastian likes to go as soon as he can. Doesn't like to think about it too much.
Extremely concentrated.
And almost flawless OLL to PLL transition there, but locks up a bit on that OLL, so only comes away with a 7.99.
Yeah, not a bad result for Kevin. Sebastian's on solve 4 now. He's sort of, this solve is sort of the make or break for him at this point in the average. Like, he can lean one way or the other based on what this is, because not only does this affect his average, but it also affects his mental state for the final solve.
These are the moments where it shows if he's really good or he's really bad.
Yeah, and it looks like he's pretty average.
Well, I guess it's not either, right? It's not really good, it's not really bad.
Right,
Yep, all these guys qualified with like high to mid 7 averages, so we're expecting those sort of solves from pretty much all of them.
Just as a note, Sebastian needs is 7.12 or better to get for his last solve.
Is that to take the lead?
That's the tie.
Not to tie, okay. But he does have the 6.4,
He has the better single.
which is the better single.
Same old love.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. He seems to, his efficiency is there and his look ahead is definitely there, but locking up a lot, and that's down to the shaky hands that they all have.
So 7.12, you said?
7.12 is what he does need to tie. He would need 7.13. No, 7.10. That's how you do math. 7.10 to have it outright. And Kevin Gerhardt is no longer in the running. And boy, did he get it!
Wow!
654.
Wow! 6.54. There we go.
Puts him in the lead with the 7.36 average.
So moving back to Kevin now, and once again, it's important to stay hydrated, guys. Make sure you drink plenty of water.
Especially when you sweat so much on hot days like this.
Yeah.
All right, so drink plenty of water, or water, depending on where you're from in this world.
Water.
It's very impressive.
Sebastian got a 7.36 average.
And he's on to last layer at 4.4.
Ooh.
Wow. Very nice.
Counting 6.
Yeah. So it's not going to be quite good enough to overtake Sebastian, but it's still a really good average. So 772 average puts Kevin in 3rd place for now.
Kevin Gerhardt finished with a 772 average. Puts him in 3rd place.
And now, qualifying in 8th place with an average of 786 from Denmark, Martin Edler.
It's a little hard to say some of these Danish names, but Martin ended up getting a 6.7 average in the 2nd round, which is national record in, I believe, top 15 in the world. So,
and qualifying in 7th place from the United States with an average of 778, Daniel Rose Levine.
Had a cheer for the only countryman of mine in the finals.
Do you remember what the other people got? Because they're not tracking that.
Although in the US, it's not necessarily the same type of thing.
Sebastian got 736. I know that much. He's on the lead. Indeed, it is James Malloy announcing.
Up first is Martin. He's #1 overall in sum of ranks, and so 3x3 is not only the event that he is good at, and we've been informed that he has very good averages in competition then compared to what he gets at home. Whoa! Wow! And right there, talking about overperforming, PLL skip 630.
Yeah, getting lucky is not a crime.
Eric's key phrase there, from the days of the .96
catchphrase.
Yeah. Now we've got Daniel Rose Levine's last solve. Maybe you can give some insight on him.
No, I'm just gonna chant USA.
Yeah.
Keaton, you ready? USA. We'll see how he does. Not bad. Good start.
Yeah, 681. We're getting to the point where sub sevens are commonplace now.
Yeah.
We're starting to ramp up the action right here with 2 6s starting off for both competitors. Just a note about Martin Egdahl is that he's not a lone wolf. He's got a brother, Daniel Egdahl, who's also very good at quite a few events, and so that might be one of the reasons why he practices so much, just because of that motivation of having a brother doing this. He's got good transitions to start. He did orange, so he might
Looks
be called
very
neutral.
good.
Looks
No.
solid, but
No,
he messed
no,
up that
no.
Z-burn. And
Those were way too many M moves to solve that
that's
PLO.
definitely-
No, stay with it. We don't know if it's a +2.
Daniel didn't even bring his jacket out.
Are you feeling nervous for Daniel?
No.
I mean, it is quite hot in here. It's what, 35 degrees, and there's like 1,000 people in this building watching right now.
I mean, you can't get the chills.
That is true.
Very easy to get the chills.
But how can you get the chills when you're so confident as Daniel?
Ooh. Not the greatest time.
No, even with the ZBLL in there, gets a 10.47. So he'll be looking to improve on that going forward.
Maybe he should get the jacket because he's cooled off a little.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we need to spice things up in here a bit more.
Martin on solve 3 right now.
His souls look really good, except for that last PLO. So let's see if he can continue that streak.
Solid transition. He did orange again, so I'm not sure if he's... Oh, wow. Wait, never mind. I thought he was on Ola. 859.
His starts are so solid. He starts off really, really well, but he seems to be losing it on last layer. 8.39 or something?
What?
What was the time? 8:59. Do you have any interesting facts about Daniel Rose Levine, Dana?
He's very good at feet, as we saw. He broke the world record average in the first round.
Indeed, yeah, he
Yes.
did. 22.22, but counting 19, I think it had.
That's amazing. Oh. Is that a 997?
No, I think that was fine, but I'm not sure what happened with the timer.
It took about 1 second to do a U move. I think that was a 997.
Martin looks a bit confused.
998. Bit of a delayed.
Focusing on his opponent instead of his own solve.
I mean, that can sometimes be a little therapeutic, just watching someone else solve and like trying to go through it together, especially if it's your first time up in one of these things.
I guess it's really personal. Like, for me, I would rather not know what my opponent is doing.
No, it's color neutral.
861.
You can really see that he has the skill, but at the end, it's just the slight lockups that cost him the good solve.
So unfortunately, Daniel with a counting 9.9, so he's certainly out of the running here, but let's see if he can get some good singles. He does have that 6.81 after all, so he's definitely capable of getting some really good times.
Oh, very lucky on PLL.
Completely puts Daniel out of the running. His min average now is just 862.
So Martin can still get a solid sub 8 average there.
Right.
Best is 774.
Yeah.
But he's got to beat that 6 for that.
And the thing is, even if he does beat it, that still doesn't get him to third place. And so he's out of the running, but he can still have a good showing with this last solve.
I'm sure he doesn't know that, though.
Yeah. So, in reality, pressure's off, but Just look at his F12. He just doesn't stop turning.
That's amazing.
It's unbelievable.
amazing.
He doesn't stop turning for a solid 4 seconds.
And just in case you're wondering, the judge is touching the cube, so just check every side to just make sure it's solved. It is part of the judging ritual etiquette at the end of the solve that you should check every side just to double check that it is solved. So he's doing the right thing.
Right. In addition, if he's doing this, that means he's given the okay that the solve is good.
And just as we were saying, he has the opportunity to get a really good solve. He pulls out a 5.38. This is US Nationals Pravin Ravindra flashbacks right now.
Oh my god.
8.61 average. Didn't quite save the average, but a very good single.
And up next, qualifying in 6th place with a 7.74 average from Greece, Anthony Paterakis.
He's fresh off of his 2x2 national record. It says he's from Greece, but he is from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he lives in the Netherlands, although he is proper Greece. He just chose to represent Greece.
And qualifying in 5th place with a 7.72 average from Switzerland, Richard Delacoste.
Very loud cheering to the right of us. Very interesting fact about Anthony, he actually chose not to compete in the 4x4 and 5x5 finals, so he could focus entirely on the 2x2 and 3x3 finals. For 2x2 that seems to be working really well for him because he won. Let's see if he can make it to the top in 3x3 as well.
He's best well known for that 4.76 single that he had a little while ago, which was one of the best solves in the world at the time. So see if you can reproduce some of the
Solid
success.
start, solid start. Yeah.
J-turn. It looks good.
That's good. Yeah,
So
that's good.
7:32 to start things off.
That's nice. That's nice.
Now, Richard Delacoste does not have any experience in these major finals. He's from the French-speaking part of Switzerland and performs really well at 3x3. He came second in the first round, so we definitely know he has the potential to get a low 7 average.
Oh. A little lucky on F2L, but...
See, one of the problems with the displays of these competitions is that they have some paper on the back of them hiding the back time. So the judge and the competitor have no idea that the display is on or off.
The paper got removed at the finals.
Hmm?
The paper got removed at the finals.
Oh. Huh. Well, thanks for the info. Anthony on solve 2 right now.
Looks like there's a little bit of a connection issue on the other timer, so they're just trying to fix that at the moment. They're aware of the issue.
Anthony's
Some lockups, and yeah.
He's one of the only color neutral solvers in this final, and so he's going to be able to take advantage of things. Antoine did orange on that, and so did Anthony. So Anthony.
Antoine.
Anthony.
Sorry.
Richard looks pretty composed right now. Doesn't look super nervous, but you'll notice as well he's a lefty turner, just like Rob Yao and Daniel Wanamaker. I think some other famous lefties. And Oscar Rolf Anderson as well as a lefty.
Very high TPS starting out. Ooh.
Bit of a lock up on that wiper, but 7.83 is nothing to be sniffed at. He's had a really solid start here for the final.
He's got one of the most consistent starts of this final so far. Antonio, and starting with the 7, going with the 8. Not bad results, but definitely needs a little bit more to sort of take it to that podium. He doesn't look like he likes the salt.
Yeah, there's been a few people shaking their head at this this scramble.
That's also one of the things if you're color neutral. If you don't find a good cross, I mean, there's no time in the end to see what's your first pair, because you just took so much time to find the best cross.
Right.
Richard, yeah, still looking composed, doing some TPS under the table, wants to clear up those lockups that he's had on his last layer, because yeah, he's been turning really smoothly in F2L, so hopefully he can keep this up and keep working his average down.
Just a little pause.
Shake of the head there, yeah, not too pleased with that. Not sure what happened after the first couple of pairs there, but he seems to have quite a big pause.
Going off on that last point that Eric was talking about, as a color neutral solver myself, it's really important to be able to just find any cross, and then from there I can start looking deep into the pairs. But if I find nothing, like the solve is guaranteed to be bad, it's harder for me to just sort of optimize crosses. Antony though, 763 on that.
Solid.
I think he might have given himself an E-firm there, but...
Yep, he, I don't know if you noticed, but he actually did a Z2 to align himself for that E-firm, which is not what you want to do, because you could have just done it from that first angle in the first place.
Right, and like having the fact that it was a 763 just makes it just harder to swallow that, you know, you gave yourself an E-perm and then did a Z2.
Is it possible to tell which cube they use? Somebody asked. Unfortunately not. We can kind of tell when some cubes are being used, but you can kind of tell from the shape. I think Richard Delacoste uses a GAN cube, so I'm pretty sure he uses GAN Air SM. But yeah, sometimes it's really hard to tell if people have their own stickers on the cubes, or if the like logo's worn off on the stickerless puzzle. It's really hard to tell these days, with all cubes being quite similar.
Didn't have any times.
They said they were going to track the other half and they lied, so we started doing it. I know you're
Wow.
This is a really smooth solve, but... was that an N-perm? Yep. The dreaded N-perm, nobody likes them. If you like them, reevaluate your PLL opinions.
He took quite a while to recognize that as well, as if he doesn't want to believe that it was actually an M-perm.
But he did get an 8 flat, so...
Yeah, it's always a little unfortunate to get N-perms in these finals. They're just so unlikely in this situation.
1 in 72 for each M-perm, right?
Yeah. It might have been the G. I did see him do D moves, so... Antony got a good solve!
And he's very happy with that.
That gives him a 781 average.
I got a nice panorama over to Richard.
So looks like this last scramble is quite good. We've got a lot of good times. We've got 2 5s and some 6s coming out as well. Yeah, so lots of good stuff on this last scramble. He's giving himself a lot of inspection time here. Yeah, use what you got, exactly.
I think seeing that 5 got a little... gave him some nerves.
Yeah, definitely.
Was that a 2-gen Z perm that I just saw?
Indeed it was. A lot of people do like to use it. People like Jaden McNeil have been using it.
There are also quite some people that prefer the RU one, like the Wires. They both use the RU one as well.
Interesting.
All right.
And now, qualifying in 4th place with a 763 average from Poland, Michał Peszkowicz.
Michał is very used to this. He is not new to this scene at all. Winning Worlds 2011 is his main accomplishment.
And qualifying in third place with a 7:54 average from the Netherlands, Mats Valk.
Yeah, Mats, go.
I don't even know if Mats needs an introduction for this one. World champion runner-up, two competitions in a row. Former world record holder with 5:55 and with 4:74. He has a resume that just is very expensive.
Yep, he really is the one who dropped the 4x4 world record down a lot, popularizing Yao, crushing that 35 that Felix had to get down to 33.
Yeah, but he also got that 26.77 single with the first sub 30.
Michal on his first solve, look at that turning style, that's delicious. But unfortunately he messed up a little bit. 802.
You know what else is delicious? That mustache.
Oh, yes. James, do you want to grow one yourself?
No.
Mats is just looks like he's just spamming TPS to practice.
Yep, in previous finals he's worn ear defenders to drown out as much noise as possible, but he doesn't seem to be doing that anymore.
Mats is a green-blue crossover, so we'll be seeing those. Ooh.
Really smooth.
Very
nice. Yeah, lovely six there. He'll make use of that VLS a lot.
Fun fact about Michal Pleskovic is that he was the very first person to beat Felix in a single round of 3x3. He won Worlds 2011. Ro Hessler got second place, and Felix ended up in third. So he's very experienced with this pressure, and he knows how to perform in these incredible high-pressure situations, assuming that he doesn't mess up, which for him is a 9.11.
His turning style looks so nice. I have no other words to say about it.
It's flavorful and spicy.
It's beautiful.
Spicy. Spicy. Spicy.
So you can see Mats is very nervous. Yeah, taking a long, deep breath there.
Mats hasn't been doing well in finals recently. He did not perform as well as he wanted in 2017, and so I feel like there might be something to prove here.
A little slow in the solve.
Yeah, saves it a little bit with the ZBLL, but yeah, a bit slow there, quite locky. Hopefully he can start turning smoothly like he did in that first solve.
All right, let's see if Michal can do a little bit better than his previous two solves.
The average to beat right now is 736 for first place. Michal's going to have a little bit of trouble. And wow, he just didn't stop turning throughout that entire solve.
Still looked very unhappy with it somehow.
Right.
One day I would like to be disappointed with sevens.
Will that day ever come, James?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
Perhaps.
James got other qualities.
ZBLL, yes, I'm pronouncing the letter Z as it should.
Z.
Come on, Mats, come on. Time to shine.
Mats does not look happy with this scramble.
Eric,
No, he's been going back and forth
Yeah.
between blue and green.
if you didn't notice. That does not look like a good start to the solve.
Oh, yeah. No.
Not pleased with that at all, but as we could see, he wasn't happy with inspection, so hopefully he can get a couple of really nice times to finish off. Yellow.
Michal's using a lot of inspection right now.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just use it. Maybe you can spot another pair, track something else.
Not bad, 768. He's completely out of the running for podium, but he can still have a decent showing and a respectable average.
The best is going to be like a 7-8 average, which is not in podium contention.
Mats is a counting 8-3 right now. That's a little painful.
That's really rough, but he does have that 6.8, so if he gets 2 more really good times coming up, then he can be right back in the running.
Right.
We've seen Mats do really well under pressure. We'll see if he can do that right now.
Solid so far.
All right.
Yes.
Speaking about doing well under pressure, he gets a nice low 6 there. That's 6.33.
His best, his min average is 7.19, which means he still has a shot at it, but that needs both of those solves to be counting.
And Michal's best average is 7.85. Let's see what he can do. Oh, yeah, no, that's it.
What?
All she wrote for Michal. 9.17, so he ends with his worst possible average.
Which is?
Of 8.32.
Thank you.
This average could go either way for Mats because he has an 8 and a 6. 2 8s and 2 6s, actually.
Yeah. So if he gets his best time now, he gets a 7.19 average, which definitely puts him in the lead. So I think he needs around a 6.6 or.
He needs about a 6.8 to be able to tie it.
Yeah.
This will be a good time for a PLL skip.
Off of VLS.
Oh yeah, that too.
Damn GoPro out of the way.
Goodbye, GoPro. It was nice knowing you.
Solid so far.
Oh, he got it!
He's gone into first place.
Hey, that's it.
Mats Valk is moving to first place at the European Championship.
And that guarantees him a podium position.
7.24 average.
7.24 average.
That puts him first.
Yes. And that puts him guaranteed to podium at this competition, regardless of what Alexander and Philipp do.
This is definitely.
The counting 8 hurts, though. He could have sealed it away with a decent second or third solve.
And now, qualifying in second place with an average of 7.49 from Germany, Philipp Weyer.
The crowd seems to be sick of Germans after their 5th one being...
Well, you know, I disagree because, you know, Philipp is really a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, I love Philipp. Like, talking to him at this competition has been fantastic, but I guess the crowd of Spaniards and Frenchmen don't necessarily like to see him win, especially with his opponent.
And now, qualifying in first place with a 7.05 average from France, Alexandre Callier.
Lots of French fans here.
Right.
So Philipp is my favorite, and he's your favorite as well.
Right. We believe that he's got the speed and the consistency, as well as the experience in these finals, to be able to pull this off.
So he's really just a white cross solver, but that does not mean that he cannot inspect very far into F2L. He can sometimes inspect up to 2 pairs in inspection. And he starts off with a 694. Yep.
Very solid start.
Alex looking very calm. Alexandre.
Yeah, he's very experienced with this position here in the Major Championship final.
He made Worlds Finals last year.
And he performed really well
Yes.
as well. Unfortunately, he didn't podium, but still did really well.
It's a very controlled, smooth turning style.
Yeah. And 7.17 is exactly what you want to start with if you want to beat that 7.24 average that's currently sitting in first.
Quite similar times here. It's really down to the consistency here.
Who is that?
If you're just joining us, we've got the last 2 competitors right now.
Oh yeah, because it's like.
On their second solves, we have Philipp.
Philipp.
Sorry.
Philipp.
Just turning incredibly well. Locking up a
Lock
little,
up
but
there.
he's going to be getting
No.
low 8 with an 8.26.
that's going to make it really hard. Well, not really hard, but harder. He can't rely on getting one bad time now. That's out the way. So let's see what Alexander can do. His PB singles 5.19, which he did get in the French Championship final only a few months ago.
I think he has quite a few 5s. He has very good turning.
Yep, and he's a white-yellow soldier as well, so...
A little lucky. Very lucky. Very lucky.
That looked like one of my solves.
Also, hopefully bad solve out of the way.
Yeah, we've seen quite a lot of people not doing that well on the second one. Let's see what Philipp can do on the third.
Yeah, the only person to get a 6 on the second scramble is sitting right behind us, Sebastian Weyer. Philipp just non-stop turning. Another 692.
It's like one algorithm per last layer.
Right. It's so fluid.
Yep, and that's made that 694 count. So we might get that sub 7 average in the final. Alexander can still obviously do it as well, but it's going to be a difficult ask. Again, taking a long time for inspection. You've got the time, why not use it?
Whoa! With a peel, it's good.
Yeah, getting lucky is not a crime.
How is that the second PLL skip or the third already?
I think it's the second one that we've seen. I think we had Dario get one as well. Oh, but Martin had one, so there have been some at this point.
Right, so we beat the statistics already.
Right, you beat your 1.4 that you stated. Just a note on that last one. Philipp doesn't know any ZBLL apart from just your basic COLL, and so all of that was 2 hours.
Oh.
757 on that one.
That looked way worse than it actually was.
Right. That regrip on that F prime is not very good.
Yep, and it puts him in a really tricky position now. I think he needs around a 7.2 to put himself in that first position. And now let's see what Alexander can do, continuing on from that 6.64 he just got. He knows he got rescued a little bit from that PLL skip, so... And that's not going to be good enough for now. I don't know if it's possible for him to take the lead, although that 6.64 is very low, but I don't think he can take the lead.
So we're on the last solve for Philipp right now. He needs a 720 to win it outright, a 722 to tie with Mats. So he's got a real challenge ahead of him.
He's taking a big breath there. He's very nervous, and he's already seen that it's...
Doesn't look very happy there.
Yeah.
The crowd's getting a little...
angsty.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been doing a lot of D moves.
D moves there. And then an N firm.
Oh, he missed it! Just missed it! Slated in the second place right now. Third place, 0.01 behind Sebastian. He got...
What's Alexander's best?
Alexander's best is 751, which means our podium is locked in. Just for the audience out there, we have had reports that yellow on this scramble is incredible, and because this is the last solve, we can talk a little bit about it, because Alexander can do this. And since yellow was good, he did it. He got a 715.
He confirms it.
And so that's a wrap. That is 3x3 finals here at Euros. We had the results lively updated for us on an Excel sheet. And so in third place with a 7.37 average, we have from Germany, Philipp Weyer. 736, we've got Sebastian Weyer. And finally, for first place from the Netherlands, we have Mats Valk with his first European Championship win. Fantastic results for him. We're going to be going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with rewards very soon. Thank you guys for watching.